Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's September 2020 and I'm going to try to keep this to be a pretty short update today. Not a whole lot happened this month. I went to work every day. That was about it. So not a super exciting month, but made 5,615 gross income, 858 in taxes, the same 1684 in my 401k, the same 280 in employee stock purchase plan, and then that left me with about $2,800 take-home pay for the month. My wife picked back up her adjunct teaching for some part-time like colleges, so her income, she made about $1,400 more than she did last month, so she made 5,506. Paid 673 in taxes, put almost 2,000 in her 403b, and then the rest is the same for HSA and insurance. So she brought home about 2,400. And then for rental income, I had the one lady that lives, well, it's two ladies that live in the house 5 and 7, house 4 and 7. But the one that lives in house 4 paid a little bit late this month. So hers went up, I don't know, I think it was like $50 extra or something that she paid this month for her rent. So that's why it's 2,338. And this was also the first month where I got house number 7's rent. So that was awesome to see. So that will be great. So if I keep making around 2,250, somewhere around there, I should be around 27,000 in rental income, which is awesome. That's great. So kind of like a part-time person just working for me all the time. So it's great. Total gross income for the month, $13,000. Total take-home pay is $5,000. So it's pretty bad. I mean, it's not bad. We're bringing home like 35% of our gross income. So mostly everything is either going to 401ks, retirement accounts, or taxes. So it's pretty astonishing how little that we actually take home at the end of the day. So nothing with analysis. Net worth for the month. So for September here, no changes with any of the property and just keeping everything where it was last month. I do feel like I'm maybe starting to be undervalued a little bit. Like there are houses, sorry, I had this mixed up earlier. It's hard for me to keep track of the house numbers mentally, but house number 4 is the one I live in. House number 5 is the rental, the first rental. House number 4, I'm seeing houses sell in the neighborhood for like 330, 335. And again, I have the largest layout in the neighborhood and a double lot. So I probably am closer to 320 or 325, or maybe 335. I don't know. So it's probably a little inaccurate how low I have this. Zillow says it's like 327. So house number 5, probably the same story there. It's probably at like 155, but it's close enough. If I sold it, I'd have to pay closing costs. House number 6, I made a little bit more progress this month. There was a retaining wall that was out front of the house, and so I moved all of the retaining wall was basically falling over. So I deconstructed that. I moved all the dirt back and rebuilt that retaining wall. And then I tried to do in the garage portion that smelled like cat urine. Um, that portion I tried to do like baking soda and sprinkle baking soda all over the inside and then sweep it up. I did that 2 or 3 times and I ended up just taking like a 5-gallon bucket of Kills paint and then spray painting, not spray paint, I guess spray painting, but basically painting the whole entire inside of the house with Kills. The floors, it's down to studs right now with no insulation, so I just painted the studs. So the cat pee smell is gone at this point, which is good, but it just smells like Kills paint now. So I guess that's progress. And then I've started tearing down the actual house portion a little bit, but not too much. So that's kind of next on my list is just to keep, working on the house portion. So I'm about like 50%, maybe 60% done overall, I guess. House number 7, no changes there. The ladies, this is her first full month of rent. So stock market went down this month, even though we contributed. It's just part of it. So I lost about $600 in the HSA. I guess my 401k went up just a little bit. My employee stock went down just slightly, and then my wife's 403b went down about $2,000. So overall, we lost about $3,000, and I guess we put about $3,000 in, maybe $4,000 in this month. So we probably overall lost like $7,000, all things considered. But thankfully, I mean, we bought low when it went down, so we'll just see what happens next month. But that was the main probably driver of the net worth this month was, um, yeah, just the investments going down. So I did pay all the debts, of course, again this month. Never missed a payment so far, so I don't think I ever will. But house number 4, I'm down to 236, and then 91,700 on house number 5, and then house number 7's at 95.5. For cash position, so the cash is staying around 100,000. The main reason is most of our income is going to 401ks, 403bs, HSAs, stuff like that, that I can that are tax not deductible. Yeah, tax deductible. Since they're a traditional 401k and a traditional 403b, and the HSAs has tax advantages on it. All of that money that I put inside of those accounts, I can take off for my taxes that I owe at the end of the year. Since I'll pay taxes on it later. So that's kind of the plan. So right now we're not bringing in a ton of cash, basically to pay our bills, and then it's about even each month. Once we pay the mortgage, once we pay living expenses, groceries, gas, stuff like that. We're sticking about even, but we have $100,000 in cash at the moment, plus 7,600 in the rental checkings account, which is good. So I can now, withstand if a furnace goes out or an air conditioner goes out. I can, kind of stomach that. I know at some point too, on house number 5, I will have to replace the roof. It's not leaking or anything. When I purchased the house, I knew that it would need to be replaced in the next maybe 3 to 5 years. I could probably wait 4 or 5 years. I've had the house for well, yeah, a year exactly now, and so I'll probably wait till I'm at like 15,000, and then the roof will probably cost me 8 or 9,000. But that'll last me another 25 years probably once I get that replaced. I just don't want to get to the point where the roof leaks inside the house, then I have insulation and mold and drywall issues, and what would have been $9,000 ends up costing $20,000. So I'll probably get that done within the next year, is my guess. But the only change that I need to mention, which is not a change yet, but I'm just sitting on $100,000 in cash, and so I'm trying to think of like how I could put this money to better use. Um, but so here's kind of my thought process. I don't want to buy like a CD. Like let's say I buy a 12-month CD and I get like 2% interest. One, the interest rate's super low. Two is my money's locked up until the CD until the end of the term. So I want something that I can, pull money out of. Is pretty liquid. And so I think what I have decided on is I'm going to make a value or dividend stock. And I've been looking. I don't think I'm going to use Fidelity, which is what my 401k and my wife's 401k is with, is Fidelity. I think I'm going to use M1 Finance and kind of like build a pie and build a portfolio of dividend stocks, and then kind of just slowly dollar cost average into those stocks. Because I mean, I do feel like the stock market is super high right now, where versus where it was in March. I'm at 114,000 versus 188,000. So I feel like things are somewhat expensive, but I may start moving some of this $100,000 of cash into that M1 Finance account, and it'll be in relatively safe and conservative dividend stocks like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, stuff like that. Um, so I'm not going to get crazy high rates of returns, but maybe AT&T, like I'll have an 8% dividend. Or there, and I'll filter it out, and I'll have some technology, some real estate or REITs. I'll have some like consumer staples, discretionary, energy in there. And so I'll kind of probably next month's update, I'll have kind of like what portfolio I'm targeting. Like I'll probably pick like 20 to 25 different stocks to put in the portfolio, 7 or 8 different sectors. I'll depend on how I'll weigh out the sectors, but the game plan is to move some of that cash into that M1 Finance account. And then if a good real, like ultimately I want to be mainly in real estate except for my 401k and 403b, but there's no real estate for me to buy, and it seems ridiculous to just sit on $100,000 in cash and not have that money working for me. And so if a real estate deal comes up, I will sell out of the stocks in the M1 Finance account and then use that as a down payment to purchase real estate. So with M1 Finance, I could just, let's say I have this $100,000 in there. I could just sell 50,000 of it and it would like perfectly pull, 50% out of each position equally. And so my whole portfolio would still be weighted accurately. Where like that's why I'm choosing M1 Finance versus Fidelity. Where Fidelity I'd have to sell off like, a specific set of holdings or do all that math myself. So yeah, so I'll do some research on, what companies I feel like are going to be pretty good. And again, the goal here is to be somewhat conservative, and I'm not trying to, forex my money. I'm trying to find a place where I'm not going to lose a ton of money and maybe average like a 3.5% dividend yield, versus, putting my money in a CD. So that's kind of the game plan. So I've got some research to do over the next month, which I've, obviously started on that a little bit, but just haven't taken action quite yet. So not completely comfortable with the game plan yet. But yep, that will be to come for October. So hopefully I'll have a little bit of money in there and we'll start that process of getting this 100,000 transferred over. But for September, net worth went down about $5,000, mainly due to stocks this month. I'm down to $589,338. And then obviously gold pay suffered again this month. Not again, suffered this month because my net worth went down. So I'm at 156,000 ahead of my goal pace of becoming a millionaire by the age of 30. So still moving in the right direction. A lot of that this month is just, due to stocks. It can't go up every single month. So it's just part of the game. But thank you all for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Last month's and next month's videos are on the screen now. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, things that you'd like to see in future videos, just comment them down below. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.